Thank you.
Especially with all the sunflowers. Look at the way they're facing. What are these yellow flowers? I know they're the fuzzy
It's a
leaf.
brown-eyed Susan.
Yeah, that's really fuzzy leaves.
There's thyme. There's parsley. And then there's flowers. Oh, this is chamomile, but it's not doing very well. It's mint. There's zinnia, poppy, Oreopsis, figs. It's curly-leafed parsley. Rosemary. That's sage. And another rosemary. A bay tree. And a view from this side of my herb and flower garden. This time I thought I'd start my garden tour on the outside since my sunflowers are so tall and blooming. And I have zinnias, 4 o'clocks, lots of cilantro. There is a spaghetti squash plant. Lots of cilantro. More 4 o'clocks, and these are getting eaten. I saw a Japanese beetle a couple days ago. And here's the grape. You can see the lovely fruit. It is laden. You can see a few gladiolas blooming here and there. The squash have grown quite a bit. And let's see, there's some little fruits. These are the little patty pan, scallopini squash, and then some little yellow squash. The morning glory grew. It has blooms on it this morning. That's called Blue Star. You can see why. See the grapes behind there. And gladiolas peeking through, and zinnias. I planted a couple of cherry tomatoes late. There's one. There's one. And a couple of peppers just as a backup, because my first peppers are not looking so great. There's one more cherry tomato. The mesclun bed has been harvested, and I planted a few pepper plants there. I'm leaving the kale as long as it keeps producing. This is turmeric. There and on the other side of the fence. I plan to harvest half of it this fall and replant it in my herb bed. Strawberries are still looking good, and they're still putting out a few every day. The trees continue to grow. The lettuces were all harvested from this row just a week ago. And there is a random assortment of things. Kale, cantaloupe, cabbages, and a few random green beans. Just had a handful of extra seeds. And then this row, you see the garlic still and the cabbages coming along. They're looking really nice. Some of them are ready to be harvested. I showed the green bean row last time, and it is very full and has a lot of baby green beans, lots of blooms. Let's see if we can find some more little ones. Oh, there's a nice one. It'll be ready soon. And the row of carrots and beets. I've harvested a number of beets and quite a few carrots here and there. I had discovered a problem. I have nematodes, root knot nematodes. So I'm going to be planting more marigolds here to try to kill those. These are my Brupa tomatoes. They're not quite as tall as me yet. They're putting out some babies. Brupa doesn't get very big, just a couple of ounces. So, and I've had aphid problems. I think I've almost got that under control. I sprayed with a strong stream of water, and then I sprayed a little bit of soap shield. And that seems to have really knocked them way back. And then okra is coming along finally. I dug the potatoes that were growing on this row on the back side. Now the okra has a chance to take off. The elephant garlic is dying. I'm going to dig it up and dry it and use it. This row is predominantly okra. I've pulled out the kale as they've bolted. So the okra will take over this by next month. You can see the asparagus hanging over. You can see nice thick onions. So this row is random flowers and things. It's predominantly an asparagus row. There are 2 watermelons planted underneath, and they're doing really well. They do surprisingly well. I've planted them here in years past and had good success. So you see the amaranth has gotten taller, and I've got some gladiolas on the ground, but they're blooming. I've been cutting the flowers and bringing them inside. Let's see the sunflowers from here. The little pepper plants have grown, but you can see the leaf damage, and I believe that I'm going to find that the nematodes are in the soil here too, and it's going to affect the production. So I'm going to buy shrimp meal and fertilize. I've read that shrimp meal will kill the nematodes and provide good fertility for the plants. But we've got broccoli back here and collards. There's a tiny broccoli. Here's a nice broccoli that's ready to harvest, past ready actually. And there's a really nice one. Hey, here's my subarctic tomatoes. They got aphids really bad, and they started to get diseased on their leaves. And you see their little tiny things. And I had to pull one plant out, and they had root knot nematodes, so I'm sure it's affecting their growth. They may not do very well at all, and they have aphids really bad, even though I've sprayed. I've started digging potatoes a little bit at a time. Working on this row, I'll dig a tray and take them in the garage to dry and brush them off and store them, and then I'll come out and dig some more. Here's my aromas. They're actually looking pretty good. Pretty little fruits in there. And the plants look quite healthy, and I think they're nematode resistant, so at least maybe I'll get some Roma tomatoes. So now you can see the okra quite nicely. Looking good. I planted a few little Swiss chard plants. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take the heat. We shall see. More broccoli. Let's see. Some small heads coming along that I need to harvest. After the main head is harvested, then it'll continue to produce little shoots on the side. We moved our little babies out here permanently, and they're not so much babies anymore. And I see they're out today. And the hens are shut up. And they're fussing over their nest boxes right now. They do not like being in there. They argue over who's next in the nest box. Got some running cowpeas planted along the fence back here behind everything. They're actually doing good. I think they get plenty of sun. So we'll see. And the muscadine has grown, and I've had to trim it more. Early girl tomatoes, they are also very healthy. They've resisted the aphids, they've resisted the nematodes. The tomatoes are quite small, but here's a nice size one right there underneath. Lots of fruit on there. Finally, here's the blooms on the solo garlic. Look how big that is. It's bigger than a baseball. There's one, and here's another one leaning way over. And I see my cucumber is dehydrating out here in the pot. I need to water that right away. The little cucumbers are coming along, not very much, and the leaves are puckered, so I think the nematodes are affecting them as well. This one pot looks really good. There's a nice one loaded with blooms. There's a teeny tiny little cucumber right there. And this one in the pot looks really good and healthy. The girls have been swimming. That's the background noise. You got those girls, and then these girls making a lot of noise. But for a final panorama of the garden. It looks very lush, and this is June 1st, 2020.